billing on the weekend's program went to rounds 17 and 18 of this year's Bridgestone South African Production Car Championship. The Passenger Vehicle Racing Brigade went to the Western Cape with its overall 2006 title chase balanced on a knife edge between the Sasol Nissan's team's Leroy Poulter and Castrol BMW driver Anthony Taylor. We found Taylor in the pits between two of Friday's unofficial practice sessions and asked about his team's strategy for the weekend's forthcoming battle.
I think it is going to be a little bit different. We've got two very different races. First race is only an 8-lap race. Our second race is going to be 18 laps. However, you do get, if you qualify on pole, you do get a weight penalty of about 20 kilograms. So it is going to make it interesting. At the end of the day, the incentive is there for 3 points, which I do need. So I am definitely going to try and get both poles. The BMW is set up very well. We've got a good setup. We've tested with the maximum weight in, and our consistency seems to be very good. So I think as an overall package for the weekend, I think we're going to be in a very strong position.
Meanwhile, Taylor's arch rival Leroy Poulter reflected ruefully on the totally unpredictable Cape weather.
I think everyone's in the same boat. It's like Cape Town all over again. As we saw this morning in warm-up, we arrived here, it was pouring down with rain. Started setting the car up, and during the session it dried out, and so all the teams came back in and started changing things again back to where we were yesterday.
With regular driver Chop Sepuka overseas, the Works Nissan team offered veteran Richard Roots a seat in one of their factory cars for the weekend, and he was thrilled.
I was delighted when I was made the offer to drive the car while Chops is overseas. We wish him the best of luck over there while he's trying to further his career. I'm really loving driving this car, awesome team to work with. They're very professional and everything is just done to the T perfectly.
Roots explained his plan of action for the race weekend's various phases, starting off with qualifying.
I think in qualifying we always go as hard as you can. You need to get as close to the front as possible, especially for Cape Town. The first corner always gets quite wild. But the longer the race, the better. I think I'm quite fit, so I can outlast most of them.
The usual production car competition format was changed at Killarney. Instead of two 12-lap races, competitors would face one 8-lapper and one 18-lap event. Audi Quattro driver Melville Priest welcomed the new challenge.
The race, you change the setup a bit. You need a more consistent car, so the lap times would come down a bit for the long race, just so that you got the same lap time at the end of the race as you have at the beginning, you know. But then also it's up to the driver to look after his tyres for the whole race. Makes it complicated. It changes your whole driving style. No longer a sprint race now. You've got to drive a little more carefully in the first few laps of the race.
Others just wanted lashings of rain.
It's obviously raining, you know, on and off over here, so the track's dry, then it's wet. And obviously if it comes down in buckets, I think the four-wheel drive will have an advantage. When it's, you know, semi-damp, semi-dry, it's still pretty even. But we should have a bit of an advantage, and yeah, hopefully it rains.
As it turned out, the official qualifying session for Saturday's opening race took place during a dry spell, conditions that suited the rear-wheel drive Nissans and BMWs down to the tarmac. They dominated at the top of the time chart, with main title protagonists Leroy Poulter and Anthony Taylor set to continue their battle from the front row of the grid. Poulter and Taylor went to Killarney with a marginal points gap between them. Things were similar in classes T and C, with Castrol Mini Cooper S driver Clint Weston and Fiat Palio driver Trevor Tuck both under siege.
The leader in Class T, Clint Weston, the Castrol Mini. Clint, it's all coming down to the championship, only 4 races left. Pretty challenging conditions here in Cape Town.
Sash, when you're racing on semi-slicks, it's not so funny. The car's all over the place, no matter what type of setup you want. And I found that out yesterday in the second qualifying. Thank goodness I qualified pole, but it was all over then. I spun around and hit the dirt and bedded the car into the mud. And then just watched the rest of the guys just miss me and go into the wall as well. So it's hell of a wet out there. The mud is thick, and yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting race.
Clint, in terms of the championship, you need to get 6 more points than Eckhart to claim the title. Is it going to change your approach of racing?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be conservative, but I am going to be quick. I mean, I'm not going to be out there just to take a second or a third. I want to win. And obviously to secure those 6 points.
Trevor Tuck leading Class C, vital points yesterday to get the pole position in the first race. Strategy, because you can clinch the championship today.
Yeah, so yesterday we got out of jail a little bit. We had some great teamwork with the three Fiats. We managed to pull ourselves out of deep trouble in the third session, and we had a Fiat 1, 2, 3, so that was really, really good for us. Today the strategy, just stay out of trouble and try and collect some points. Wayne is still the man to beat. I think he's been driving beautifully, and we're just looking to a clean fight from here on.
Well, Wayne is pretty far down the grid, but as you mentioned, we know that that Polo is very, very quick, so it's going to come hunting you down. In terms of the championship, how many points do you need in order to claim the title here this weekend?
Look, if I finish in front of Wayne with 4 points to spare, then it's game over. But as I said, Wayne Masters, you can never discount the man. He'll be there. And the thing is that he has to win, so the pressure's on him. Luckily, I've got tennis next to me, so I'm in good hands, I think. We're looking forward to a good one.
Saturday's first Class B race grid would be an all-out Toyota Run X RSI affair led by the Sasol team cars of Dave Compton and Philip Kakana, while Class C seemed like a happy hunting ground for the Fiat Palios. Compton had already been crowned as this year's Class B champ, and Fiat racer Trevor Tuck was hoping to earn the same distinction in Class C over the weekend. With the commentary, here's Greg Maloney.
Lining up for race number 1, an 8-lap race. It's going to be a bit of a sprint down to the first corner, and looks like it is Anthony Taylor who gets a great start and leads the field in Class T. It looks like Clint Weston leading down there. Yes, indeed. The champion at the moment in this class, A1 on the side of his car. Anthony Taylor leads. Looks like Eckhart Schrinknecht's going into the lead of Class T, and it's Dave Compton battling for Class B honours at this point in time, and by this point in time it looks like it's Tiens Elof leading Class C. They come down to turn number 3, Engen corner, and it's the Engen Audis making a sandwich of that Sasol AE Nissan. We go on board with Melville Priest, and he's managed to just sneak ahead of that Sasol AE Nissan. I think that was Richard Ritz just on his tail. Just ahead of him we have got Michael Steven, and Michael Steven got a great start off the line. There comes Ritzy. He's of course just driving for the first time for the official Sasol team, taking the position of Chop Sapuka here this weekend and doing a great job of it so far. He's got his teammate right on his tail. That's Gary Formato in the third Sasol AE Nissan. The first one is up there, and there it is. That's the Sasol AE Nissan of Leroy Poulter as we go on board with Anthony Taylor, looking back down the back straight, close to 260 kilometers an hour, and they climb onto the brakes as they come into Cape Town corner. Melville Priest making a maneuver up on the inside of Roots to try and take that position back. Looks like he might be able to make it stick. Roots is going to be a tough competitor in that car, as you see the rest of the field in Class A moving through. Back on board with Taylor as they come across the line to start lap number 2. This is how close it is between these boys, and Leroy Poulter is going to be looking for a way past. Etienne van der Linde unfortunately was unable to get ahead of Poulter, and you can see him there in third place in the second of those Castrol van der Linde development BMWs. Round turn 1, they come a little bit further back. It's the battle of the Audis and the Nissans. It's BMW and Nissan up front here. Taylor taking the defensive line on the inside to hold Poulter at bay. Poulter unable to make it stick this time as they come through now. Look at those two Sasol Nissans. Snuck in there as well is Marco Acuna, and what a good drive from him so far. He's a little bit further up in that Sam Racing, and of course that's the Drivelines car that he's in. That's the black and red Nissan. Here we go back to the leaders once again as they come through Shell Sweep. Absolutely flat out, and all problems here. Oh, looks like the Vendetta Polo has gone a missing there and gone a little bit hayward, and did a bit of farming as they came through turn number 1 there. That of course would be known as West Bank corner for today. As they come down the back straight now, it's the Castrol BMWs that are still sandwiching Leroy Poulter. Etienne van der Linde unable to help his teammate, although he's looking for a way past. And speaking of looking for a way past, round the outside here comes Melville Priest in the Sonex Audi. Nice bit of driving there from Priest, and Michael Steven taking evasive action. Oh, a little touch there from Roots, but I don't think he had anywhere to go there. So Melville Priest, well, good driving from him to keep that car on 4 wheels and on the black stuff. But you can see the pressure is starting to be put onto this man in the Sonex Audi. He's looking for a way past the Engine Extreme Audi there of Michael Steven. Looks like he might be able to get him on the brakes. While he's late in the brakes. Oh, he's got clipped. That's big problems there for Priest. He's gone sideways through turn 1, and look at that. That's Hole's Hook, and you don't want to be hit there. We've seen plenty of action there in the past, and he just keeps the pedal flat out through this grass section and back onto the circuit, although he's now at the back of Class A with a lot of work to do and a slightly damaged car. Looks like Acuna is looking for a way past as well, and Robert Volk is right on his tail on the Finter Parts BMW. His teammate Stevie Morris just behind him in A13, really trying everything he can to get ahead of Robert Volk. If you can't beat your teammate, the next best man to beat, of course, is the man in front of you. And at this point in time, it is his teammate, so he's got a bit of work to do, has Morris. Good to see Dion Joubert, the man from Cape Town, making a welcome return right at the back of the field in the second of those Sam Racing Nissans. The Bosel entered one at this point in time, right at the back. Down the back straight they go, and we go back to Class T. It's the Caltex Havilland GTI leading the two Castrol Minis. Western ahead of Waberski at this point in time, but they're trying to catch Eckhart Schrinknecht in that Caltex Havilland GTI. That thing has got a turn of pace down here as we go on board with Donnie van Niekerk, the Murray and Roberts Ford icon here. And he's battling for first place with Tiens Elof, who we can see on screen just ahead there, using a little bit more of the road than what is required. Robbie Beninka, and he's having a great time out there in his City Golf. Motorhouse sponsor on the back of that City Golf. You can just pick it up on the inside, and oh, you can see a little bit of a hand signal going out to Tiens Elof, and he apologizes for that maneuver. But it's great to see such tight racing, and they've got an opportunity in the car to give their fellow competitor a wave and maybe just a little warning signal as well. Nice driving amongst these guys, though. Here comes Wayne Masters. He, of course, is the man to beat. Remember, Trevor Tuck warned us about him, and he's up in the 4th place ahead of Trevor Tuck. That's not going to help Tuck's championship opportunity here in Cape Town. Around Cape Town corner they go. They're going to go a little bit further up now through the left-hand sweep onto the main straight. Here comes Donnie van Niekerk. He's the new leader. The icon has got to the front, and look at this. Beninka really putting pressure onto him, and right on his tail is Wayne Masters. A little bit further back we go to Silverwood, and it looks like this is Robbie Prius. Then we got Guy Kidgel, and of course Fani van Zyl at the back. Yeah, we have a great battle happening here between our Finter Parts BMWs, and whoa, where is Stephen Morris going? Well, he's decided a bit of farming might come in handy. Looks like that car is not handling properly, and I think there may be some broken suspension there in Steve Morris's car. That's a big pity because he's a real trier. Comes all the way from the UK to come and race here in the Bridgestone Production Car Championship. Back to Class T, and no change there. Still Caltex Haviland, but look at that in the background. That's Etienne van der Linde. He is slowing down in a big way. So problems for the Castrol BMW here. We've seen the Caltex Haviland GTI ahead, and well, there's not a smile on Glenn's face, but he's going to be happy that at least one of those Castrol BMs is out. And speaking of out, looks like it might be the end of the day for that man, Hans Bozay. The Vendetta GTI making it 2 Vendetta cars out of this race so far. It's only an 8-lap race. Imagine what's going to happen a little bit later on today when we get into the endurance type field. Here's the Class A competitors starting to come in amongst our top runners in Class C. It's still Taylor ahead of Poulter. Castrol BMW leading from the start so far, has not been bettered by that Sassel AE Nissan of Leroy Poulter, although Poulter has looked at every angle and opportunity to get past the man in front. Oh, Michael Stephen and Sean Watson-Smith both off there by the looks of things in the Engine Extreme Audis. That's going to be someone to pay big time in that Engine Extreme Audi team. This is the leaders of Class C, that's the leaders of Class A. That's the difference between these guys. These front runners in Class A have got such a turn of pace down here in Cape Town. They close up very quickly, and it only takes them less than 8 laps to catch the man in front of Class C. Donnie van Niekerk, we're looking for the BM to come past. There it goes. The Nissan will be right on his tail. Closing down him as they go down towards Cape Town corner now. Van Niekerk leads Class C. That is the Class A battle in front. Leroy Poulter looking for a way out the inside. Oh, he's clipped the BMW. Well, he's had to slow down dramatically there. There was a contact between the BM and the Sassel Nissan. Oh, and look at that, Formato nearly going into the side of Taylor, taking evasive action right at the final limit there. And, well, Taylor's back on the circuit, but now behind the other 2 Nissans. So it looks like it's going to be Nissans 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, indeed, across the line. Great driving from the Nissan drivers there. Unlucky to Anthony Taylor. And Eckhart Schoenknecht is going to take the win ahead of the 2 Castrol Minis. The Caltex Haviland GTI coming through to take Class T honours. Class B is going to go to Dave Compton, right on his tail, his teammate Philip Kakana. And unfortunately, right at the back of Class B is going to be Sasha Martinengo on board with Brian Martin. First time ever we've seen a passenger allowed in a Bridgestone Super Production car race. Class B honours, as I said, there you can see Martin just in the background in that red Pretoria Noord Toyota Runex. He hasn't been able to catch these 2 Sassel Toyota Runexes, and of course that is the man who took the championship at our last round at Pakisa. Waiting to see what's happening in Class C at this point in time. It's Beninka. He's managed to hold on to that lead ahead of van Niekerk, so that fracas at Cape Town corner the last time they went through allowed Beninka to take the lead, and van Niekerk is still chasing him down. He's got Wayne Masters in 3rd. The Fiats have gone missing, but I think that was also because of the incident between the BMW and the Nissan down to the corner that they're going to now, and it looks like Beninka's trying something up the inside. He's got him. Beninka's got the inside line, but look at that late braking from van Niekerk, and he's able to hang on to the lead, and he's going to take it across the line to take Class C honours here for the first race of the day. It's going to be Donnie van Niekerk in the Murray and Roberts Ford Icon to finish up just ahead of Robbie Beninka, or is it? He's coming back. It's going to be tight stuff between these 2. Beninka's got ahead of him. Can you believe it? Beninka takes it on the line. What a dramatic finish to Class C.
Gary Formato led Leroy Poulter and Richard Roots in a team Class A sweep for the Sassel AE Nissan team, while Eckhart Schoenknecht beat the Works Minis in Class T with his Haviland Golf GTI. However, Poulter's 2nd place in Class A would remain provisional pending the outcome of an official investigation into the last lap incident between his Nissan and the Castrol BMW of Anthony Taylor. The collision and Taylor's subsequent spin had dropped the BMW driver down to 6th place, putting his title aspirations in serious jeopardy. There were no such incidents further down the field, though, with Dave Compton's easy Class B win and Robbie Beninka's extremely close Class C victory. We found the happy Class A winner Gary Formato afterwards.
Yeah, it was good to have all cars first, second, and third. And look, unfortunately for Leroy and Anthony, they touched on the last lap, but it gave me the win. But you know, in racing you need a bit of luck sometimes, and I actually drove quite a good race, to be honest. I made a terrible start, and was really, you know, only had the two privateer BMWs behind me. Managed to come through the field and, you know, like I said, win the race with a bit of luck. But it's a good drive. I'm pretty happy, and obviously with the season I've been having this year, it's nice to take a win anyway. It comes along, and you know, all weekend the car's been good. We've been on the pace, I feel. So you know, I'm actually quite relieved, to be honest. It's great to come across the line first.
Class T winner Eckhart Schoenknecht was equally chuffed.
Yeah, it went well. Just from the start, I passed him on the start, and it was a brilliant start. And then I was holding him the whole race, and it was very difficult. Goff and Clint gave me a hard time, and the car was very unsettled in the first few laps, but after that it went well.
Ford Icon driver Donnie van Niekerk also didn't register any complaints.
Donnie, another great performance, Class C. Things are getting better and better.
Yeah, it was very close and it was very nice. I missed a gear twice, and I think my fifth gear is not working so well.
Great, looking forward to the 18-lapper.
Yeah, serious. I think it's going to be hard work.
What about brakes in this circuit?
I think that I got the best brakes in Class C, yeah, definitely.
Moving on to an 18-lap, more endurance type field to the Bridgestone Super Production cars, and it looks like Melville Priest has got a stormer off the line. He got up the line there and really just put the loud pedal down. He's up to third place. He was way down the field. A great start from Melville Priest. In second place at this point in time, it's Van der Linde. We can see him there just ahead of Melville Priest, who we're on board with at the moment in the Sonax Audi. And right in front of them, it's the Engine Extreme Audi there of Michael Stephen, who leads at this point in time as they go into Engine corner. That's going to be a very happy time in everybody's lives, according to Engine. Already some action at the back there. That looks like it's Richard Roots and Steve Morris who are coming together. And oh, look at that. The Tubular Tech car has spun. De Cunha has gone sideways out of Engine corner. And our Class C boys are going to have to take evasive action. Fortunately, his Nissan 350Z is parked on the left-hand side of the road. Coming down towards Shell Sweep now, we're on board with Donnie van Niekerk, the man who just got pipped to the line by the man who's just in front of him. And of course, they've got to try and catch those two Fiats who are just in front of the two cars that we're talking about. The Fiats of Trevor Tuck and Tiens Ella for the boys to beat here. And look at this, it looks as if we've got a change in lead. Yes, indeed. Etienne van der Linde, Castrol, BMW has got to the front, and Melville Priest is looking for a way past as well. Then we've got the two Sassel AE Nissans right on their tail as we go on board with Anthony Taylor a little bit further back in the pack. Remember, he started way down the field compared to his first start, and now trying to make his way through the field. He's going up on the right-hand side of Richard Roots. He's got Gary Formato just in front of him trying to close down on that 350Z. But up front, it is Etienne van der Linde, and look how late he was on the brakes there. Can you believe it? Smoking those Bridgestone tyres as they go into turn one. Right on the bumper now is the Sonax car of Melville Priest. Michael Stephen is the man he's looking for a way past with as they go into Engine. Hopefully Michael's not going to let him overtake through Engine. He has got Engine sponsorship on that car, and that would not be good to be overtaken in your sponsor's corner as they go through turn number 3 now, heading up to the little kink that takes them down to Shell. And of course, a great job being done here by Killarney and putting the circuit together and making sure that everything is 100%. The weather has turned out to be great as well. We can see in the background there the beautiful mountain, but more important is what we've got on the circuit at the moment. And look at Taylor pushing for Marta as they go up towards Sabat. Looking for a way past Formato, gets it sideways through Sabat. They're going to go into the back straight now. Let's see who's got the pace. Is it going to be the BM or the Nissan to go into Cape Town corner first? Taylor right on his tail. You can see him just changing gears. By the time they get down to the bottom here, they're close to 240 kilometers an hour before they hit the brakes at the 150-meter mark. And onto the brakes, it looks like Melville Priest is looking for a way past Michael Stephen. Audi side by side, using that Quattro technology. Big advantage to those four-wheel drive cars as they can hang it out on the outside, even if it hasn't got as much grip as that inside line has. And a little bit further back, it looks as if it is Clint Weston who's leading Class T. Class B is Dave Compton, followed by that man, Kakana. Then it's Brian Martin. Then we've got Heinz Bozé, and nice to see him back and getting that car sorted out for the second heat. Just behind Bozé, it looked like that was De Cunha starting to make his way back as well. And at this point in time, well, it's Trevor Tuck behind his teammate. He needs to be in front, especially when he's got this man breathing down on his tail and looking for a way past. Is Donnie van Niekerk along the straight. Look how close they get to this wall. Very tight stuff here, and they're only on the second lap. Can you believe the action so far? We've got 16 laps to go as they come to start their third lap. At this point in time, well, it's Trevor Tuck in third place. That, I think, might be enough for him. He may have to make up one more position to take that championship, but we'll keep an eye on that during the race. Coming down out of Shell Sweep now. This is where the action's up front in Class A. It's two Sassel AE Nissans taking on the Engine Extreme Audi there. pushing it to the limit, and Michael Stephen has not found it very easy to get around the circuit this weekend. He's had a few little hiccups here and there. And speaking of hiccups, Etienne van der Linde has gone missing. He slowed down dramatically there. Is there a problem in that Castrol BMW? Because Melville Priest went past him like he was standing still. Anthony Taylor's got past him as well. So there is definitely a problem in that second Castrol BMW that has been leading since the start. Here comes Class T. It's Weston from Eckhart Schoenknecht. That's De Cunha just in amongst them at the moment. Remember, he crashed and spun around in the first lap. Here's the Class B battle. 3 Toyota Runnexes. Dave Compton from Philip Kakana, the Township Tornado. And then Brian Martin, Pretoria Noord, Toyota Runnex. Across the line comes that battle, and it looks like De Cunha's going to get past that Mini with not many hassle. He has got slightly more power than the Mini has. And whoa, look at the action in Class C. We've been missing out on it. I was hoping we were going to go back to this, and that's exactly what we've done. And as we get back there, looks like there's a bumper gone missing on Robbie Meninka's car, courtesy of Trevor Tuck. I'm sure he's not going to be happy about that, but it could be construed as a bit of a racing incident there. As we saw a bit earlier, the camaraderie and the sportsmanship amongst our Class C drivers is quite exceptional, and they've got a lot of respect for each other out there on the circuit. Here comes Van Zyl up the inside of Thornton. Thornton, the local man from Cape Town, making his debut here in Bridgestone production cars. And he's not doing such a shabby job, I must tell you. He's sitting at this point in time in about 6th place in Class C, so he might be a man to watch out for in the future. This is a man to watch out for in the future, there's no doubt. You can see the pressure being put on by the Celtic Savaline GTI, picking the wrong line there and getting it completely locked up as they went through Shell. Well, we've got 3 oils there, Shell, Corner, Castrol, and of course Celtic Savaline as they head up towards Sabat, and it looks like the Celtic Savaline GTI might have found a way past. Not this time. Weston shuts the door on him. He's going to have to work a little bit harder to get past that Castrol Mini. Clint Weston, a wily competitor when it comes to this kind of racing. He likes it tight, and he loves it when it gets this close. And at this point in time, well, the Celtic Savaline GTI's got to the front. A little bit of extra power there, and he manages to get past Clint. Clint looking for a way past immediately as they come back down to Cape Town Corner. Not able to do it this time. He's going to have to find a way a little bit further around the circuit. He's got a lot of time left. Remember, this race, 18 laps. Oh, problems here for Dion Joubert, and what a pity.
Het lijkt of die tire gedelaminated en toe die suspension rose joint losgekom bo. So ons 'n goeie race gehad op daai punt, was baie lekker.
Well, we know that Sam Racing was very happy with Dion's performance as we go on to the penultimate lap. And it's going to be the Sonex Audi leading on this penultimate lap. No one has been able to catch Melville Priest. He's set an awesome pace. And look at that, he's already caught Eckhart Schoenknecht, the leader of Class T. Not normally what happens in production cars, but of course they're trying a new format. And hopefully this new format is going to go into the Suez Bank Super Series next year as a permanent fixture, because it really has worked well. Oh, problems here right at the end of the race. Garth Waberski getting it sideways, and wow, looks like he spilt a bit of oil there as well. And yes, indeed, there's definitely some oil there because cars are going left, right, and center to get past him. One of those cars was a Sassel AE Nissan. It looks like it was Thornton as well. And oh, he has some problems as well for Melville Priest. Looks like his fire extinguisher has gone off at some point in the car, but he has crossed the line and taking first place in Class A. Here's the battle for Class C. It's the usual contenders, and they both got caught up in that oil that Waberski's put down. So problems there right at the end for Silverwood, and well, Beninka had to take evasive action as well. The car not coming off as lightly, unfortunately, was De Cunha, Sam Racing Nissan there. Here comes Compton to take Class B, and Class C went to Donnie van Niekerk, but Trevor Tuck is going to take the championship here in Cape Town.
The victorious Melville Priest was followed over the finish line by Anthony Taylor and Leroy Poulter to leave this year's overall and Class A title chase wide open, with a similar situation prevailing in Class T between Eckhart Schoenknecht and Clint Weston. While Dave Compton's Class B win was well received, Donnie van Niekerk's victory ensured him of the accolades as Bridgestone's Class C Driver of the Day plus Car Magazine's Rookie of the Day. Meanwhile, Fiat's Trevor Tuck emerged from the race as this year's South African Class C champion. There were 3 happy winners.
Melville, a new format of racing, a long race, second time round there, sublime drive, fire extinguisher and all. What a great victory.
Yeah, it's a great victory for us and the team, Sonex, everybody. I mean, it's just magnificent for us. We had it with about 12 laps to, 12 laps to go. Wait. Sorry, 12 laps to go. My fire extinguisher went off and I was like, should I stop, should I go? I thought, well, I'll go as far as I can until the car gives up. I had so much soap in my eyes, I was just like, I couldn't see the apex of the corner. But we managed, I held on, and what a great victory for my team. I'm so happy for them after, I mean, we were good in the first race, we got taken out. It's just great for my team, I'm so happy for everyone.
The VW Golf GTI in Class T, a storming race, a long race. You had it all to do, but eventually, once you got past Clint, you pulled away.
Clint was very quick in the beginning. He just pulled a big gap on me, and so I said, I'll rather save my tires, and then I caught up to him, and I see he was slowing down through the corners. I said, this is my chance to go now, and I went for it. And then in the end, I just had to relax to the finish line.
We're getting towards the end of the season and we're crowning champions in all of the various disciplines and formula and categories. Trevor Tuck for the Fiat Palio team, Class C champion 2006. How are you feeling?
Unbelievable. It feels great. I never in my wildest dreams thought that we'd come to Cape Town and wrap the championship up. All thanks to the team, thanks to Lindsay Stein, thanks to Tjenis Elof, thanks to Nats, thanks to everyone in the team who's worked so hard, to Darby for doing our engines, and to Dr. Garelli as well for the support from Fiat. We appreciate it very much, and we're now champions. It feels good.
As Bridgestone South African production car administrator Dick Sorensen handed out laurels, top title contenders Anthony Taylor and Leroy Poulter both knew that their work for this year was far from done. Whatever the outcome of the investigation into their earlier clash at Killarney, either Nissan's Poulter or BMW's Taylor will be crowned as the overall champion of 2006 on November the 25th during the season's final two confrontations at Killarney. It should be a scorcher.